Good evening, and welcome back to another episode of the Scuttlebutt Podcast. How you doing, chaps?
I don't know. Dude. That's the
What's
third
up?
third time like there's been a delay with that. I want to hear the national anthem, and it's like it's frozen on my screen.
It was?
Yeah, it was like, and my yeah, this is whoa. There's some kind of a delay,
Are you tripping out, bro?
dude. I am tripping out.
Drink some more
Yeah.
water, bro. Drink some more
Yeah.
water.
Let me see. Let me make some adjustments here. All right. Are you good to go now?
I think so.
All right. So again, welcome back to another episode of the Scuttlebutt Podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Combat Chaps, and our guest, Theo T.
Tushamire.
So I have some exciting news. So with the first of all, I thank our Patreon members. Without your support, we couldn't do what we do. So what I do is I take whatever money that comes in through Patreon and started a little nonprofit. And our goal is to send veterans and first responders to sporting events. Well, this week I purchased 2 club seats for the Detroit Lions for the entire year next year. So if you're in Detroit and you want to see a football game and you're a veteran or first responder, let us know. We'll hook you up. So the goal is to have tickets here in Middle Tennessee and also my hometown, Detroit, Michigan. So I just felt, Detroit being my hometown, I wanted to bless them first. Next, we're looking at getting some tickets for the Predators and hooking some people up. It's a little just our little way to say thank you for what you guys do. So how's it going, chaps? Oh, there he goes. Well,
I guess his Wi-Fi must have gone out.
yeah, he was fine earlier. We're on another call a little bit earlier, and he was fine the whole time. So whatever. So what we do here, Theo? Oh, here he comes. What was that?
I don't know, man. My camera's on like some kind of a delay or something, and I guess it's uploading, and this computer you gave me is
It was doing stuff.
trying to catch up or something.
Are you all right now?
I guess so.
You still got a little delay.
I'm still delayed.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Hold on. Let me check something.
Hey, we just have a show going, man. It's all good.
I know. What about none? How about this? I wonder if this is okay. This fucking shows my crappy house.
That looks better. I think your background was do something now.
I think this is better. Is this okay? Yep. Now the piano.
There you go.
Never fail with this is like, I think it's Tom Brady's house. I'm pretty sure it's Tom Brady's house because it's not mine. I don't have a piano. I don't know how to play piano.
Are you ready to go now?
It looks good.
I'm ready. I'm good. Theo, what's going on, man? Welcome to TSP, the Scuttlebutt.
What's going on, fellas? Hey, what's going on,
for
man?
everyone out there, Tushamire and I, we served together in the Marine Corps. I'm wearing the 3/8 symbol right here, over here.
Wrong way there.
Yeah,
fella.
right
There
here.
you go.
There it
I'm
is.
wearing our 3/8 shirt right here for you, buddy.
I appreciate that.
You were a hard charger and still are, and you're one of the finest Marines I've ever had to serve with. So
I say that's a lie.
No,
I
definitely
was,
not.
I was definitely not a hard charger by any stretch of the imagination. I just and
he's lying,
allowed
big time.
my leadership
big
to do
time.
the work, man. So
Uh-huh.
Big shout out to 3rd Platoon 3/8 Indian
Oh
Company.
God.
Y'all
3rd
rock.
Platoon, you guys are a bunch of crazy motherfuckers, okay?
There was
Okay.
there
In
was
my
a few.
phone, John
There's a few.
Flegel sent me everything that you guys did in Ramadi. Everything.
Well, so to caveat on that, I was not in Ramadi with them. I was a boot drop after you guys came back.
That's
Ramadi.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
Mew. That's right.
Yeah. I only went on a Mew and then went to Afghanistan.
And they went to Afghanistan with Carden and
yeah.
And what's his name? Who's the little Chinese kid? What's his name? Andrew.
Who, Walker?
Yeah, Walker. Benjamin Walker. That's right. Damn, man.
Benny Walker. Yeah.
Fucking Walker. God, I miss that kid.
Walker, Hutto, and Vaughn Riesbeck and all those, all those good guys.
Well, you know that what's his name is an officer in the Marine Corps.
Who?
He was Jordan. Oh my God. Shit, he's on Facebook. I can't remember his last name, but he went from 3rd Platoon to he's a C-130 pilot now. Trent, Jordan Trent.
Okay.
Yeah, he's an officer.
He went to State Platoon, I think.
Yeah, he went to stay, and then he went to then he became an officer. Man. Yeah.
That's dope. Like the things that people do once they get out or once they decide to get out, to me, that is always the the epitome of like you were one way for 4 years and
now you're
completely changed your
way.
whole entire life. It's a pretty interesting transition for like a lot of people. But,
it's a great dynamic for people.
Yeah.
But forgetting about the past, forgetting about 3-8, we're going to talk about you. So Theo, it's your show, man. Go ahead.
No, hey, listen, y'all invited me, man, and I'm eternally grateful. It's definitely been challenging, but I'm not gonna lie. Because so once I left the Marine Corps, I joined the Army right away. There was literally like 2 days between. I was on terminal leave on it was like May 28th due to the holiday. I couldn't go to AIT, so I didn't have to go through basic training or any of that. So I transitioned right into the Army. Showed up. I didn't have a uniform. Didn't know the Army song. I had no clue. I literally was like a dude off the street showing up in the Army. And I show up to school at Fort Lee. My first week, I'm not in uniform. I'm going to classes. The the post-sergeant major happened to be there one day. Sergeant Major King, and she was like, "Hey, you." Like, oh, hey. Because I was wearing a t-shirt and just some cargo shorts lined up to go to class. She's like, "Are you a student?" Like, "Yes, I am, Sergeant Major." She's like, "Where's your uniform, man?" "Oh, I don't have one." She's like, "You don't have a uniform?" I was like, "No, Sergeant Major, I don't have one." She looked at the cadre. She looked back at me. Looked back at the cadre. Looked back at me. The next day, I had a uniform. So it got fixed right away. From that point on, it was just a crazy transition. Like literally, Friday I'm in the Marine Corps. Tuesday I'm in the Army. Two completely different branches, two completely different cultures. And
you're definitely right about that because I'm in the State Guard, and it's all Army shit. Like they drill Army, and
it is crazy.
They say left flank, right flank. We were like echelon front, echelon,
right.
And we're like, and they say DNC. I'm like, what is that? What's drill DNC? I'm like, DNC. What the fuck is that?
But drill
in ceremony.
But the crazy part about that is that the two different cultures you can't even mix up. Like you can't even take some from here to some from there. So because I went from infantry to supply, two whole different MOSs, two whole different cultures. And so I'm at school during PT. Marine Corps don't salute in PTs. I don't know that. I walked past a captain. I didn't know he was a captain. He was in PTs. Didn't know who he was. He's like, "Hey, soldier." I keep walking. "Hey, you." I keep walking. I had week one. I don't know that I'm a soldier. I'm still in my Marine face, head. And so I don't know. So anytime somebody say, "Hey, soldier," I didn't answer. I didn't know who he was talking to. So he's like, "Yeah, you walking." I'm like, I stop and look at him. I was like, yeah, can I help you? He's like,
Can I help you, sir?
yes. I didn't know who he was. He's like, so you're just gonna walk past me? I was like, are you anybody significant?
Oh shit, son.
He was like, I'm the captain. I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing, sir?
Hey.
Oh, so
how
you're
are
not
you,
gonna
sir?
salute? I'm like, you're in PT, sir. I don't salute in PTs. He like, so he's looking at now. All this is happening in front of our first sergeant.
God.
She's looking
God
at him.
bless
She's
you.
looking at me, and I'm like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I'm not gonna salute. You're in PTs. I'm in PTs. We don't salute in PTs. He's like, well, this is the Army. We salute in PTs. I was like, okay, roger that. And I keep walking. And so first sergeant calls me over, like, you know who that was? I was like, no. Who was it? Like, mind you, like, I'm coming in fresh. I have no clue of anything about the Army. I have no clue about the rules and regulations. None of this. And I still everything I know and understand from the military standpoint is from the Marine Corps perspective. And so talking a certain way, looking a certain way, standing up a certain way, walking a certain way, to me gave me the confidence. I was like, you can't just talk to me like you're not gonna talk to me any kind of way. And so I was like, if you didn't have a rank on you, I don't know who you are. I'm just not. I'm not gonna let you treat me or talk to me a certain type of way. And so that caused some sort of friction in class.
It did.
But yeah, but we worked through those kinks. We worked through those kinks, and I got it. I was like, okay, so this is who's who. This is who's that. And it was a very interesting transition to the point where even when I left school and I went to my first unit, which I ended up in Hawaii.
Nice.
I had because so I went from the Marine Corps as a Lance Corporal to an Army PFC, which it's not rank wise not significant change. Like pay grade is not a pay grade is no change. Rank structure wise, there is a different change. And so I'm a PFC in the Army, but I just left the Marine Corps after 4 years as a Lance Corporal. So now I get into my unit and have all these NCOs trying to talk down to me because I'm a PFC, but I have a deployment patch. And so I'm looking at them, and I'm not standing a parade rest, and I'm looking at them, and they're trying to like they're trying to punk me. I'm like, who are you? Like I was like, so I literally told one of the E5s, I'm gonna need 3. I said, hey, Sergeant, come here. I said, come here, Sergeant.
Come here, Sergeant. I want to talk to you.
And so, mind you, this dude has only been in for like 2 years. I've been in for 4 already. I'm like, listen, I'm not who you think I am. Like, don't try to punk me. I'm not that guy. Oh, so you think, no, I'm not that guy. Look at my ERB, look at my record. I'm not him. Don't try to punk me. And that kind of set the tone. I wasn't trying to be messed with, but I understood my place in the chain of command, but I also understood that just because my rank, you're not going to look down on me. You're not going to play me. You're not going to try to get to me. I'm not him. And so it kind of set a tone for the following time that, as I grew and matured, I got promoted really fast. Within 2 years, I was an E5.
Damn.
And I
Nice.
carried that same attitude all the way through. It wasn't necessarily because I thought I was better than anybody else. It was just because I understood what my foundation was, and I understood that you're not going to just easily shake my foundation because I know where it's stable to. And so that was just a crazy culture shock. But that's
you
a
went
whole
from being a grunt to a pogue like in
yes.
3 days.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome.
It was a reality check that I wasn't ready for, but I can't say I didn't love it because it was more like, okay, I'm supply now, so I don't have to deal with all the grunt stuff, and I get to watch the rest of the Army people try to play grunt, and I'm like, this is funny to me. And so like in the field, I'm like, oh, so this is y'all play grunt this way. I was like, and they're like, yeah. So our our company commander was a former 11 Bravo, and so he's seen where I came from, and he tried. It was just it's just two different worlds, and he was kind of a dickhead anyway. And so like it just we didn't mesh, and it was just more like I'm just gonna stay in my lane. I'm just gonna do my supply poke stuff. You go do your commander stuff, sir. I was like don't try to talk infantry to me because me and you are two different people, two different backgrounds, two different cultures.
Yeah, they
I
don't
was
know what
like,
they don't know what a
it's
SMEAC
not.
is. They have no idea what a Frago is. I mean, I mean, no offense, Army. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I got to wear those ACUs too for the State Guard, and I hate it. I can't. I mean, who made up that uniform? Seriously. I mean,
Listen, they've gone through so many so many uniform changes that it's kind of like, listen, y'all need to make up your mind. Either wear it this way or wear it that way. But all that to just say is just two whole different cultures, and you're trying to adjust. And I can only say for the people who got out and and became civilians, they experienced the same culture shock as going from always training to not training, always being around people who thought and looked the same to not that. And now they're trying to face this whole reality of who am I? Where do I belong at? Like,
yeah.
Who do I call? Or is there even a chain of command? Like, the military almost kind of makes you soft in a way. It makes you soft to the regular world process because everything is done for you. There's an S1 that handles
S2,
the paperwork.
S3,
There's an
S4.
S2, right? Things are already, so all you got to do is just show up. So out in the civilian world, you just don't show up. Like, you actually have to also apply yourself. And so that's also another transition that I had to realize, that nothing is automatically gonna get done for me. I have to actually go and apply myself. And that was the shock I didn't expect to have. And so it's even going through school, even going through college, like after I got out of the military, like that was also like, oh wow, okay, so I gotta turn in my work this way. I gotta do it. Like, doing everything by the numbers was different on the civilian side than it was in the military. So it created a whole. I got to learn why people get depressed. I got to learn why people have this anxiety. I got to also, unfortunately, learn why people want to take themselves out, because it does get lonely. It does get it become hellish. Like,
it does.
Like my wife will go to work and I'm home by myself. Like, what do I do? Like, in a Marine Corps, or just like, just in the military, it's like, if you're at work, you're at the barracks, or there's somebody always around. There's always somebody to go joke with. There's always somebody to go hang out with.
Yeah.
But once you get out, you're home by yourself. You can only self-medicate. Whether you watch porn, drink, take pills, whatever it is that you do, you are left to your own devices until somebody else comes in.
Yeah.
But then at that point, it's like sometimes you get too far gone to the left or right, and you don't know how to get back to center.
It's hard to get back.
Yeah. And honestly, that is something that I'm now realizing that people are dealing with, like vets are dealing with. Like, it's cool to know, hey, I went through this. I went through, boot camp. I went through, combat. I went through all that. But then, like, you come home and there's nobody. There's nothing to signify that you're somebody who's gone through all that hard stuff.
Yeah.
And now you're just looking at yourself in the mirror like, well, shoot, what's the point? Why am I even here? Why did I even get out? So, like, you see the self-loathing, you see this. So all of these things I got to experience on the outside that I never anticipated, because you always see the guys, whether in your platoon or just around, like, wow, that's a hardcore dude. That's a hardcore charger. But then, like, you also get to realize, like, they go home and they sit with themselves. But on the civilian side, they go home and there's nobody else home. And now they're just left to their own devices.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I'm like, man, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. So I don't know how you guys have dealt with that, but for me, it was 9-day culture shock. Civilian life was culture shock. Still is. It sometimes.
Sucked. I'll tell you, it sucked. It took me about 11 years to get right. Support system, definitely. I worked on myself a lot. Save a Warrior, Reverend Warriors, the VFW, getting back into that tribe of people around so you can go and hang out. And Fleek, he's the one that actually came up with this podcast.
Oh wow,
because
that's dope.
this is a way if people can watch this and be like, hey, I went through that same shit.
Right.
How
That's
do I
the
get
goal.
help? And Fleek, he asked me, he's like, you want to be my co-host? I was like, hell yeah. We started this up a year ago, and you were
Oh
still
wow.
cutting. You were, I think,
Yeah.
still cutting hair in Georgia.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Pooler, no, Garden City, Pooler. Where'd you
No,
live?
Pooler.
Because
Yeah.
it's always cooler and pooler.
No, like that was actually my saving grace, man. Like, not even gonna lie. I actually gave Fligo a haircut a while back.
Hey, you gave me a haircut
I gave
like
you a
4
haircut.
years ago.
Yeah, and then
You had hair?
I did. Back then I had hair. Yes.
I
He
cut
cut it
whatever
real
was
short.
left. I cut whatever was left.
Ouch! You guys suck. I hate both of you. God, you
But
assholes.
it was, listen, man, it was definitely my saving grace, man, because without that, like, I had something to look forward to, and I got to be back in a space where I'm around people. I got to be back where I'm having conversations with people. Got to be back where I'm actually feeling like I'm doing something that creates some sort of significant change, right? And so it was definitely something that if I don't know what I would have done, right? I like if it wasn't for that aspect of like cutting hair in the Marine Corps was different, but like it was, because it was just you and the guys shaving the heads, messing it all the way up. As long as you had a haircut by formation, Monday morning, you're good.
Were you a barber in the military, or are you just cutting hair?
I was just cutting hair. I was just cutting hair in the barracks. When we went on a MU, they actually appointed me to be the company barber. So like I was always downstairs.
He did. He was. Yeah, you were in the barber shop on the.
Yeah, like
he and I were on the Kearsarge together, and he would go down, and that was his duty.
Yeah, like
go cut hair.
That was my place of duty. That was also like a great way to kind of understand how people think. That was also a great way to like meet different people. Like rarely do people allow you in their personal space, unless you're a doctor, a barber, a pastor, or somebody significant, right? But as a barber, you literally get to be in somebody else's personal space for about 30 to 45 minutes, and whatever you talk about is confined within that space, and whatever energy that y'all feel together is within that space. And so getting to know a lot of the guys who, unfortunately, some were KIA when we went to Afghanistan. One of the guys, Wallace, he was an engineer.
Wallace, yeah.
He was actually the guy that got me into the barbershop, the guy that got me into cutting hair, because he was, him and his unit were attached to us, for like the 22nd MU. And so, man, like losing Wallace, that was like, that took me a minute, because like we were like close, but weren't like, super, super close. But like, I knew who he was. He knew who he was. Like, we would talk every chance that we got. And like the last time I seen him, he was fixing a grill, because he was at Camp Bastion, and we were about to go off to go on Route 1. And I said, hey man, yeah, I'll talk to you later. Let's cut some heads when we get back. And then within a matter of time, he unfortunately passed, and it was like, it was so surreal. It was like, wait, what? That like it happened. And so to me, that was my starting point of like, wow, people really do create impact on you. People really do affect you different. And to your point, like my life before the Marine Corps, or my life before the military, was originally I'm from Rwanda, Africa. So I came to the States in 1994 due to the genocide that was happening. So I was already previewed to combat, but on the receiving end, and that kind of created the frame of reference for life, because I was 8 years old at that time.
Okay, I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah, and so at that time,
so
like,
how do you get? how does somebody from like a culture like that, how does a family earn enough money to get on an airplane and fly somewhere?
Man, listen, donations. Not
Don't-
even gonna lie. Donations, like churches, like the missionaries at that time. It was a Free Methodist church. They raised enough money. So my dad's a pastor, and he was actually in the United States at that time going to college. And so whenever that kicked off, he would tell people what's going on. And so like they actually put enough money together. Back in '94, it was like probably about $5,000 was all that was needed to bring the whole entire family over. And so, so enough money was raised within a few weeks. So the war started in April. We didn't get to the United States until about October timeframe. So like we spent all that time just like hiding out. And so when we got to the United States, another culture shock moment. It was complete. Didn't know English. Didn't speak a lick of it.
Right.
Where'd you move to?
Kentucky. So we moved to Breathitt County, Kentucky.
You were in Kentucky?
Yep. Yeah, I was.
I didn't know that, dude. I didn't know that about you.
That's literally where I learned how to speak English. So if my southern twang comes out, that's where.
Oh my God! Where in Kentucky did you guys move to?
Breathitt County, Kentucky. Yeah, right there, about 2 hours north of Hazard, 2 hours south of Lexington. It's in a deep.
Yeah. I passed by it. I know where that is.
Yeah.
Did you go to public school there?
No, so I actually went to private school. It was a Christian college that was associated with a Christian elementary school. So like it was like a whole association. So like they had like a little pipeline going. It's like elementary, high school, and then college. And so me and my siblings went to that because my parents were going to school at that college. And so KMBC. And so when we went there, that's pretty much where we learned how to speak English. That's pretty much where we learned what America looked like on a smaller spectrum. That was our frame of reference for America. So didn't know what the military was, didn't know any of that. I didn't grow up watching no John Wayne movies. I didn't grow up watching no military movies to say, hey, I want to be in the Marine Corps. Hey, I want to be a Marine. Except for one of the kids young man that was there, he was Native American. He joined the Marine Corps, and we went to Parris Island for his graduation. And that was in 1998. That was the first time ever experiencing the U.S. military. Hadn't at that time, I think I was like maybe like 10. No. I was like going on 11 years old, 11, 12. And I was in awe, like watching the Marine Corps graduation. That's what I want to do. Like, that's what I want to be. Like, I don't even care. Like, one of the uniforms were like top notch to me, right? So
you heard it, folks. You heard it right here from the mouth of T. All right, we have the best uniforms ever.
Listen, it was the uniforms that got me, but we didn't even watch TV like that. So like the only TVs that the only TV programs that we watched was like PBS. We learned how to speak English watching Barney, Sesame Street. Like that's how we learned English too. And so didn't know anything about the military, about any of that. And so when I seen the Marine Corps, I was like, that's what I want to do. That's like, I don't even care. Like, that's what I want to be. And so like, as I grew and I understood like American movies, then like I started watching like Jag and like shows like that, like where like
damn, I haven't seen that show in forever.
Like just like I'm like, oh wow, so that's what the military does. I was like, okay, now I want to fly a jet, but I was like, can I do that? While I was like, you know what? No, I just want to wear that uniform, and like I want to march like what they did. And so that was my first like viewpoint of the Marine Corps.
Boot camp, what battalion?
So he graduated. I think he was in 2nd Battalion because he.
Okay.
Because
and you were 2nd Battalion as well?
No, I was 1st Battalion.
Oh, tip of the spear, baby! Tip of the spear, right there.
If you ain't first, you ain't.
If you ain't
first, you last. And And so like in '06, and I couldn't even join the Marine Corps until I got my green card. So like I wasn't even a citizen at that time. Because I didn't get my citizenship until we came back from the MU actually.
Really?
Yeah. So like I joined the Marine Corps with
Like
my green
Desme.
card.
just like Desme. Holy shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like I became a citizen at that time, but like joining the Marine Corps, I only had like my green card, and like that's it. So '06 came, finally got my green card, and I was actually able to join the like. I was waiting around because I graduated high school '04, '06. Like I had gone to like the community college in Ohio, and after that, I joined the Marine Corps, and then from there it's just been rocking.
What
First
made you
Italian.
decide to leave the Marine Corps for the Army?
So when we came back from Afghanistan, they were doing the troop settlement or like the troop drawdown.
The de-escalate.
And this was,
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it was in 2010, and so it was either re-enlist and go on the 20. I think they were going on a 24th MU at that time.
24th. Yep.
So it was re-enlist and go on a MU with them, or just get out. Like I wanted to actually do something else because I was like, well, let me see whatever else the Marine Corps has. Let me do another job. Let me go do something else. And so when that option wasn't available, I was like, well, you know what? Let me go ahead and get out. But I also didn't have enough time to decide. So we came back in June '09. Yeah, in June of 2009, I got out exactly a year later. So they were only giving us about 4 months to figure out whether we wanted to re-enlist and go on a MU or just go ahead and get out. And so I was like, you know what? The best I can do right now is just get out and figure it out from there. Because I was like, I'm not going to re-enlist and do something that I don't necessarily want to do that I've already done.
Dude, I think I went to that the Marine Corps ball that year.
Yeah, because you were wearing your kilt. Yep.
Yeah, I was drunk as shit at that ball. That was at the field house, right?
Yeah. I actually skipped out on that ball because I was prepping to get out. And like I was like, at that time, I was so disgruntled. I didn't even care. I was like, you know what? Like, I had such a terrible taste in my mouth just because I can't even say it was a chain of command. I think
First Sergeant Barnes. No, it was First Sergeant Barnes.
No. It was definitely not First Sergeant Barnes because Barnes was gone way.
Was he? Thank God. That guy was fucking. That guy. Dude, First Sergeant Barnes was a PT stud. That's all he wanted to do was PT. He didn't want to do his job. He just wanted to take us out and run us for miles.
Hey, listen. I think for everything that happened, it was always like moments that kind of stick out. Like the time that old Reggie McClam ran us into the dirt.
Oh yeah, I had to hold the damn flag in like water up to here.
Old Leonidas showed us exactly what a Spartan run was looking like, and so
dude, did you know that Leonidas is now the commander of freaking TBS now?
I seen that. I'm like,
and he looks the same. He looks exactly the same. He has not changed.
It's funny because I watched his journey all the way through, and I'm like, wow, like this dude is committed to this. Like, there's a level of dedication that people have to a certain craft, and like he's one of those people that he's dedicated his life to this craft of being of this leadership. And
he's
like
that just general someday.
Listen, that just speaks to the man that he is.
No, he's a great man. He's a VFW member. He's a Freemason. He's a fraternity guy. I think he's like Alpha Kappa Alpha or
I think so.
Or the other one, Phi Beta.
Ever the blue and white.
The blue one. He's not the red. He's the blue one. Whatever. I can't remember those the letters.
I just always call him like the fraternity Crips. But anyway,
who was was Odom your lieutenant battalion commander?
No, Odom was actually Sullivan. What I think it was our battalion commander at that time.
Okay,
because it was Sergeant Major Bradford and Sullivan.
Sergeant Major Bradford with the Hitler mustache. Dude, I was in his office like 3 times, man.
That guy.
That guy,
That
he
guy.
is crazy. Well, you were saying in the whole beginning of this whole thing, you were saying you didn't salute this captain because you didn't know who he was, right?
Yeah.
You remember Sergeant Brosco?
Mm-hmm.
Me and Sergeant Brosco sitting outside the COC, the old one, and these 2 guys come up to us. They got their packs on their chest. I've been gone for chain of command, the change of command server. I have no idea who they are. Me and Sergeant Brosco, we're smoking cigarettes. We got our hands in our pockets. Our covers are off. And these 2 guys, they come up to us. And we're like, hey, what's up? Sergeant Major Bradford on the left, Lieutenant Colonel Odom on the right. Yeah, it was not good for me. I was like whisked away up to Sergeant Major Bradford's office right then and there.
Do you know who the hell I am? He talked like that too.
Yeah, he had a wicked draw, man. He had a wicked draw.
You.
You.
Oh man.
Hey, Theo. So Saturday is the Army-Navy game.
Oh boy.
Which side of the fence you sit on?
Man, I always go Navy.
Go Navy, beat Army.
I always go Navy.
Eat shit, Golden Knights. Listen, or Black Knights or whatever you are.
I think they're called the Golden. I think they are the Black Knights.
Is it Golden Black? I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Black Knights.
Yeah.
It's the Black Knights. That's right. The Black Knights.
It's weird. Like I would say the Marine Corps was like that crazy ex that you just like you miss, right? Like when you think about
so
her,
true.
Like you had like a blast. She was psychotic though, right? That's the Marine Corps.
That's
like
Marine
the
Corps.
Army is who you take home to mama. Like,
yes.
But like when you reminisce about that crazy ex, that's the Marine Corps, right? So like it was just like Marine Corps was my first love in a sense. It was the place that I got my understanding of way. It was my first taste of what structure looks like, what hate really looks like, what disgruntledness really looks like, what fun looks like, and what sheer terror can also look like.
Yep.
So I got to experience all the extremes while I was in the Marine Corps. I also got a chance to overcome my fear of heights in the Marine Corps because I had no other option. Except for
hey, hold on 1 second. You had to do the fast roping, right?
Yeah.
You scared when you were doing the fast roping?
I peed my pants, man. I ain't even lie.
Dude,
bro,
wait,
I was.
You did it from a 53 or a 46, like in the middle of the ocean?
We did it on both.
We did on both, right? Because I got stuck in the 53 because my weapon was.
I remember that. Like I remember training up like at the towers.
Yep.
Like I just had no choice but to go down. Like I wasn't not just gonna go down. So like I literally overcame my fear of heights. Okay, let me not lie and say I overcame. I faced it and figured it out and figured out a method that I could just get through it.
Good. That's awesome.
And then when we went to Norfolk, like my fear of water
for the dunk tanker.
Yeah,
for the
like
dunk
the dunk tanker.
Oh, God.
I chickened out. Not gonna lie, I chickened out. I couldn't because the way that my brain is set up, I was gonna die that day. I was like, no, I'm good.
Dude, I cheated on the last one, because they blindfold you on the last one, and so I kind of raised up my goggles, but the first 2 were fine. The third one, I was like, nope, I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna see what's going on.
Listen, it was just that just taught me. I was like, you know what? There's always that fear that you gotta conquer. There's always that thing that you gotta overcome. And for me, that was the fear of water and heights combined. And when we went on a MU, there you go. Fear and like fast roping out of a helo, swaying back and forth on top
90
of a boat.
feet above the hard deck.
90 feet above the hard
crazy.
deck. All you're seeing is water. All you're seeing is blue and like the boat going back and forth. And you see the helicopter going back and forth.
Kinda
you're
scary.
Just like, I'm going to go down. If I hit water, I hit water. If I hit a boat, I mean, obviously you're going to hit the boat, but in my
Man
head,
overboard,
the
man
boat was
overboard.
this, right? Like the boat was like this. The water was a whole lot more, and so just getting over that was like a big victory for me. Like I was like, okay, I think I can actually do this military thing. Like that was a moment I was like, oh, okay. It wasn't like boot camp. It wasn't any of that. It was getting over that fear of height and water, like combined. Like, okay, I can actually probably do this military thing. And so, like again, that like the Marine Corps, that was my frame of reference for a lot of things that I did. And so I always refer to that, even on my VA stuff, is like they always ask me, what branch were you in? I was in the Marine Corps. I also did the Army, but I was in the Marine Corps. I was identified more with the Marine Corps
Damn
than
straight.
I did with the Army.
See that? Hear that, America?
So yeah, it was like, it was just a journey, man. Like this whole thing has been a journey. It's not been easy, but
Theo,
it's
you were
definitely been worth
a
it.
good Marine. You were a good friend. I was honored. I am honored to know you and call you friend.
I appreciate that,
And
man.
by the way, Katrina says hi. I told her that we were interviewing you today.
Oh, okay.
She was like, because I saw Theo, 4 years ago
Yeah.
in Savannah, and that big, tall, white captain of Marines,
Mhm. Yeah.
he got married. He got married in Savannah like a year ago.
Oh yeah.
Charles.
I
Yeah.
seen you post the pictures. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's funny because there's people I run into even now that who are retired Marines, and we seem to have a similar story, right? It's like the thing that we all share in common was the disdain for 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 nonsense, the disdain for civilian life, and just the
dumb
hatred
officers
for stupidity, and just we all connect on that point. And I think it's something that the military has that you can't ever get rid of. It's just like even just like even now, it just you get to understand yourself, and you get to understand those around you a little bit different when you see them in position where when they have to make difficult decisions. You always get to see who they truly are internally when they got to make a decision that isn't reflecting on their military service, but more so on their character as a person. And it's different. Some people will crack under pressure when they got to make a decision that affects them personally. They will rather make a decision that affects them more so on a military standpoint than affects them on a personal level. And it truly does show the character of a person. I don't care what anybody can say. The military doesn't make you, right? The military doesn't build character. It draws out what you already are. You get to become more of that. Some people are like, well, like the military made me an asshole. No, you were an asshole before you joined the military. It just gave you more of a platform for you to act that way. And they want to relegate responsibility of their action to, oh, I have PTSD. No, bro, like that goes beyond PTSD. That's a choice now. People
well said.
Try to get out of things. It's like, no, it's like you can either take responsibility for what you've done or for what pain you've caused, or stop. Like like there's always choices, but the military makes you more of who you were before you joined. And for me, it made me more of a goofier person. It made me more of a grateful person. It made me more of a reflective person. I appreciate life different. I know what life looks like in a flash of a minute of holy shit, like we just almost got blew up. Like you get to appreciate life a little differently. To wow, I can't believe that person's no longer here. Wow, or I can't believe I'm going to another funeral for somebody who I served with.
Yep.
And you get to see yourself a little differently. You get to reflect on yourself a little differently. And so for me, that's what I feel like the Marine Corps has brought, or just the military experience in general.
we lose him?
Hope not.
He's frozen.
T, you there?
Wake up, buddy.
Theo. Yo.
Oh man.
He was on a good one too.
Hell yeah.
Theo.
He's probably still talking. He doesn't
probably
even know he's
still is.
frozen.
I thought it was gonna come out. Theo. Hello. Nope. And now
Nope.
wow. That's weird.
Whoa.
Now it's just you. And now it's just me.
What's up? He's gone now. Alrighty then. A little more technical
Sorry about that.
difficulties here.
We're still trying to figure this stuff out with the new backgrounds and whatnot. He'll probably come back on. Man, it was good to see him. Damn, I miss that kid.
Well, we'll hang out for a minute. If I have to, I'll just.
And my computer
Let it start.
decided to do an up. Hold on, folks. Hold on. And my computer decided to do an update mid-conversation. So this will probably, Fleek, with your permission, can we do a part 2 with
Yes, for sure.
Theo T?
Yeah.
Theo, we love you, man. I know we had some computer stuff on our end or my end. We will do another an episode with you for part 2 because
Yeah, because I had
we
a
were
lot of
getting
questions to ask him.
we were getting into some good stuff.
Yeah, and I wanted to know if he ever made it back to Rwanda.
Yeah, that's, you know what? And that's funny. I've known that guy forever. I've known that guy since 2007. And I didn't
Yeah.
even know he was from Rwanda. I had no idea. I knew he was foreign, but I didn't know where he was from.
Oh man.
Part 2.
All right.
Jeez.
Well, I could save this and do a part 2 and just splice them together.
We could do that. Yeah, that sounds good.
We'll figure something out. All right, man.
Do we need? Yeah, and he just said yes to part 2. So
I'm gonna kill the recording.
Okay.
Well, that's highly unfortunate. I would like to apologize for our technical difficulties, but we lost our guest, so I figured I'd just come on here and say a few words. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for listening and for all the support. Our show is doing great. It's growing every single week, and I couldn't be more happy. And so for fundraiser for the nonprofit that I started, Minutes Wisely, which is we're going to be sending veterans and first responders to sporting events. As a matter of fact, we've purchased season tickets to the Detroit Lions to start. So we'll be blessing veterans and first responders up in the Detroit area. We plan on doing something very similar with Nashville Predators. So my goal is to start off in Nashville and in Detroit and do what we can to help some veterans and first responders. But as a fundraiser to pay for these tickets, I have a Super Bowl square going. The cost is $20 per square. I'll have links down in the description, so go ahead and take a look. If there's any squares left when you see this, by all means, we'd appreciate it if you purchase some. And if we do sell that one out rather quickly, we'll probably start another one, maybe a $5 or a $10, but we'll see what happens. But again, I just wanted to hop in, apologize for our technical difficulties. Our guest dropped off, but hey, so be it. Life is life. Thanks for sticking around. We'll see you guys next Sunday. Next Sunday, we have a great guest, Lieutenant Commander Paul. He's a Navy SEAL. He's doing some great things, working with Jocko over at the Echelon Front, and it was a great conversation. Can't wait till you guys hear it. Thanks a lot, and love you guys.